Hi, Taurus. I'm Bonnie. Welcome to Whole Heart Tarot. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. I'm here to do your 2025 year ahead reading. I have said a prayer over your cards, prayed for the best possible messages, the messages that you need to hear at this time for the year 2025. I have laid out your spread. I shuffled, I laid out your spread. We've got a card for every month of the year, as well as an extra card, which is your overall theme of the year. I want to point out that I'm using the Wild Unknown Tarot, so it looks a little bit different than the traditional tarot cards, and some of the interpretations are a little bit different. So I'm going by the interpretations of the Wild Unknown Tarot. Okay, so anyways, let's go ahead and get started. Your theme of the year is the Daughter of Swords. This is a court card in this deck. It's father, mother, son, daughter. This is Daughter of Swords. It's sword suit, obviously. This is the Ace of Swords right here. She's perched upon the sword of truth. Swords are thoughts. This is an owl surrounded by darkness. Owls are known for being very wise. They symbolize wisdom, right? Keen eyesight in the darkness. The Daughter of Swords. The Daughter of Swords is a watcher, an observer. The interpretation says honesty, insight. This person is honest and insightful due to keen observation. The advice is to sit back and observe this year. Sit back and observe in January, I guess. Sit back and observe. Check out everything that's going on around you. Pay attention to those details. Utilize honesty in your connections with others. Was there anything else? Try not to be judgmental. Because you're sitting back and observing, you're noticing a lot. And there can be a tendency, it says, to become spiteful and judgmental, as sort of like the negative aspects of this card. So just a little note there to try not to be judgmental. Okay. But honest and insightful. And there was a quote there: people truly value your frankness, or to paraphrase. And I thought that was a fantastic quote for Taurus. It really reminded me of Taurus people that I know in my life. People truly value your frankness. And I love that piece of advice to utilize honesty in connection with others at this time. For 2025. Okay. All right. January. January is Four of Swords. So these four swords are hanging in the air above this little lamb. You're supposed to notice how peaceful this lamb looks. Just chilling, not a care in the world. And then it's hard not to notice this like powerful sunshine looking beam of light on its third eye. I mean, that's what stands out the most to me. So swords are thoughts. That's what the sword suit is about. It's about your thoughts and your mental state. This card is encouraging you to spend this time resting, meditating, quieting your mind. And you're basically preparing yourself mentally. You're building your mental power. You're building your mental stamina to be able to handle what's coming. Okay? Okay. Six of Swords. This is February. So another sword suit, another card of thoughts. This one's got this nice rainbow. Fives tend to be more difficult cards, cards of change, whereas the six will always be like a more positive card that follows that more difficult time of change. So this is a card of recovery after a difficult time. Okay. It also encourages travel. So you're still resting, you're still revitalizing, but you're beginning to kind of come out of that time now, and you're beginning to like connect with your friends. It encourages you to go on some kind of a trip. You can do like a day trip, a road trip, a weekend trip. Like start to kind of get yourself out there. So you're kind of in between. You're still like wanting to take care of yourself. You're still resting, but you're beginning to branch out. You're beginning to connect with your friends, and it's encouraging you to go on a trip in order to lift your spirits. Okay. For March, we get the Five of Cups. Bring it a little closer. Cups are emotions. And as I mentioned in the previous card, the fives tend to be more difficult cards. They're cards of change. And as you can see here, this horse does not look super happy. This horse looks pretty down. So Five of Cups is going to be one of those more difficult cards and cards of change that are related to the emotions. Cups are emotions. And this horse is looking pretty sad. Okay. So Five of Cups, a sorrowful time. A sorrowful time emotionally. This indicates the loss of an important relationship. The key words were grief, disappointment, and regret. Some advice is to be still and experience this loss without making any rash decisions. There's also advice to take a look at yourself, which I know can be hard. But it's advising you to take a look at yourself and the expectations that you place on others. And a direct quote is, "Perhaps they can never do enough to please you." Just a piece of advice from me is that if you grow from this experience, then at least something good can come from it. Okay? So the loss of some important relationship in your life and how you deal with it. Be still. Feel it. If you have some accountability in this, take a look at that and try to grow from it. And, it'll be okay. All right. We're in April now. Temperance. Temperance is major arcana. So those court cards that we've been over for January through March were all kind of like shorter term situations. Temperance is supposed to be more of a big picture thing, a big picture theme in life. In this card, you're supposed to be noticing, this is like a great heron or a blue heron or something like that, and you're supposed to be noticing the water mixing with the fire. What stood out to me most with this card, and I don't know if you can see it, but was that it looked like tears. And considering that this card immediately preceded it, I was like, wow. I don't know. I thought that was significant. But Temperance is a card of balance, bringing things into balance. So there's a lot on this card about kind of bringing it back. So it's like if you've been overindulging, try to be more moderate, stuff like that. So it really reminded me of March's card was this card of this sorrowful loss of a relationship, and uh, how although we may do our best to deal with stuff like that, we may still you know kind of go to extreme a little bit. So temperance is kind of encouraging you to, okay, like, bring it back a little bit. Let's bring things back into balance. Bringing balance back into your life. It encourages you to practice cooperation and compromise in your relationships. If you've been excessive with your behavior in any way now, try to move back towards moderation. And this is a time of healing, peace, and harmony with others. Okay? So that's good. For May, we have the Five of Swords. So that's another 5. It's another card of difficult change. It's another Swords card. Thoughts? And here you see the swords like severing this worm in half. It looks like a worm to me. And it is noted to be a card of self-destruction. Self-destruction, indulging in arguments you should avoid, selfishness and desire for power leading you to defeat, pain and discord result. So I sort of noticed with my notes here that I didn't write down any notes of advice or anything. So I would just take this card for what it is. It's for the month of May. It's the Five of Swords. It's a card of self-destruction. The things that are leading towards that self-destruction are said to be selfishness and desire for power. So it says indulging in arguments you should avoid. So I would just say try to be careful. Sometimes there's only so much we can do in terms of accidentally getting into it with others and stuff like that. Sometimes it happens even when you're trying not to. And without a lot of advice here, that almost struck me as like maybe this is a difficult time, but it's something that kind of has to happen. But I would just say when I'm having a hard time, and it's hard to know really what to do going forward, I always just follow the advice to just literally whatever's the next thing would be the best thing for you to do at that time, then that's what you need to do. So whether it's day to day, you need to keep doing what you need to do to keep your normal life going. You need to get up and go to work. You need to do your laundry. You need to do this. You need to do that. Like, just keep doing the next right thing, and doing the best that you can. And eventually you will move through that time into whatever's to come next. And if you are doing the best that you can, then you can't really do more than that. So I wish you luck. I'm sorry to see that May be difficult, because I know that for many of you that is your birth month. But in any case, you will get through it, and I'm sure be better for it as things move forward. Okay, so for June, you get the Four of Cups. Four of Cups. I don't have any notes about it, but I keep on, it just keeps jumping out of me, missed opportunity. Because that's one of the meanings of the regular tarot. The Four of Cups is a missed opportunity. It shows somebody sitting by a tree and they're looking at their three cups, and there's a fourth cup extending down from heaven. There's like a hand extending this fourth cup down from heaven, and the person doesn't see it. They're not looking at it, and it's a missed opportunity. So I don't know why that keeps coming to mind, but I thought I'd mention it since it does. Anyways, this is a quote from this interpretation. It says, "An outsider would look upon your life and see supportive relationships, pleasure, and even a bit of luxury, but you don't see it that way." It says to try not to take your situation and the people around you for granted. I kind of made like a heavy note about what are you truly longing for, was one of the questions on the card. What are you truly longing for? Since you have a pretty good life that other people would appreciate and you're not happy with it. Try and look at that. What are you truly longing for? Really? Take time to think about this. These are my notes of advice. Take time to think about this. Identify your underlying wants and needs. And then another note from the card, it was like, what are you truly longing for? Name it. Okay. So my advice, like as a manifestation thing, because this reminded me of manifestation, was to say out loud, I would love to have this in my life. Because that's leaning more on the positive manifestation aspect, as opposed to saying, leaning towards like that you don't have it. You say, I would love to have this in my life. And then you try to experience what that would feel like for you. Like how good would that make you feel? Whatever it is that you feel like you're lacking in your life, how good would that feel if you had that in your life? And I just wrote, so try to experience the joy that that thought brings and manifest your own happiness. Okay. July. Look at this. Talk about manifestation. Two of Cups. So if you don't know, Two of Cups is like a happy relationship. Okay. You've got two cups. Cups are emotions. It's two beautiful roses. Okay. A new love enters your life. This can be a romantic connection or a wonderful new friend. Either way, the connection will be pure, honest, and solid. Be ready with an open heart. So I underlined honest because she's on the sword of truth. That was like your theme of the year. There was some advice about being honest in your connections with others. Maybe that was still her. Being honest in your connections with others. I felt like this was the third time I had seen it, so I underlined it, but I can't remember where else it was. But anyways, honesty seems to be being like really highlighted in this reading to me. And I think you'll notice it as we go on as well. But the connection will be pure, honest, and solid. Be ready with an open heart. Okay, so where are we at? August. August is the Seven of Swords. So, Seven of Swords. Again, we're in the thoughts. Sword suit, we're in the thoughts. This is a fox. Sly fox, right? And it's hiding a sword. What sword is it hiding? Is it hiding the Ace of Swords? The Sword of Truth? Okay. A secret is being kept. Is this you or someone else being deceitful? A direct quote is, face the cause of secrecy or risk ostracizing yourself. I kind of assume that means if you're the one being deceitful, you could risk ostracizing yourself. Oh, here. This is where I made the note about it. Honesty keeps coming up in this reading. Focus on the value of honesty this year. You want to practice tact and honesty with others. Okay, we're not out to hurt people. But the real focus should be on being honest with yourself. Okay? Not really sure why that came to me with that card. But I think that's where honesty kept jumping out at me. And I was like, what is going on? Okay. September. Judgment. This is divine judgment. Another major arcana. So another like sort of big picture type of thing. Oh my God. Seeking the truth. So there was a note on this card about people being like afraid of judgment or whatever. But that this card is more about forgiveness, and seeking the truth. Okay. So I just like seeking the truth. Oh my gosh. Okay. So another card focusing on being honest with yourself. A direct quote says, no more blaming yourself or others. No more excuses. Now is the time for forgiveness and personal freedom. Rise up and let pettiness and fear fall below you. Expand your wings and be reborn. What a relief it will be. Like I underline that, like each word. What a relief it will be. And this reminded me of shadow work. So I just made a little note, shadow work. Okay. So what's the truth? Okay. What's the truth? For October, you got justice. Here's justice. And we have another sword. This is a major arcana. It's not a sword suit. And yet there's another sword. Another sword of truth. Decision-making time. So that's another thing about the Ace of Swords. Although this is not the Ace of Swords, but there's the sword. So another thing about the Ace of Swords is that it's a time where you make decisions. Okay. So this is this like cuts through the BS, right? Decision making time. Okay. Decision making time. Karma. This is a direct quote. The Justice card implies a weight or heaviness to a decision you have to make. Now is not the time to shun the concept of divine balance or karma. Unquote. It also notes, this choice will affect you and those around you both now and in the future. Okay? And then I just made a little note. What is the right choice? You know? What is the right choice? November. The Daughter of Cups. So this is another court card. This is a person. Either you or someone close to you. That's up to you to decide. Cups are emotions. They also represent the water signs. So Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. This is a person. This is a quote. It's like a paragraph all about this person. They're romantic, artistic, and easily inspired by their surroundings. A true dreamer by nature. They struggle to stay grounded or deal with any harsh realities that come their way. My note was that this is either describing you or someone close to you. And the notes about the cups being emotional and representing the water signs. Okay. December. 9 of Wands. Now this jumped out to me because Aries got this exact same card in this exact same place. So that was like, whoa, what a trip. And it also seems like a really good card for December. And you'll see why in just a minute. But wands are actions. I think this is the only wands card you got in this spread. But wands are actions. So swords were thoughts, wands are actions. Okay? Cups are feelings. So this is a lot of actions. The cards go from 1 to 10. And in the 9 of Wands, you're almost there, right? You're almost to the 10. So this card can be kind of difficult. You can be not feeling too great. You're feeling, I was just there. I just had a time like this in my life. So I'll just tell you what it's like. You're in a place where you're starting to feel really down. You're starting to doubt yourself. You're starting to be so tired and so overwhelmed and just not sure if you've done the right thing or what's going to happen or if this is going to work out or whatever. Like you're starting to reach like a low point. Okay. And the message from this card is that what you're not seeing the big picture. It's actually a card of hope. This card is saying, keep going. Keep going. You're almost done. You've already done all this work. Like what you don't understand is that you have built up a lot of momentum with all this work you've already done. Like you've already built most of the house. Okay. Just keep on going. You're almost done. I liken this to a marathon. Like you're running a marathon and you're getting so tired and you're starting to feel like, well, this was a mistake. I can't do this. I can't finish this. Like, this is awful. Like, and what you don't realize is that you're going to turn the corner and you're at the finish line. It's right there. Okay. So just keep going. You've got this. You're almost there. all this work that you've put in is about to pay off, you're killing it, and you're not realizing it. Okay. All right. So this is a card of hope, and the message is to keep going. Okay. So I hope you enjoyed your reading. There were some harder months along the way, and I hope you hung in there with me, because I was a little bit worried about having to deliver this message because there were some hard cards. But I feel like the overall message is like this, like a transformation. Like this is going to be a really important year. And I wish nothing but the best for you. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. I love you. God bless. And I'll see you next time. All right, take care. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.